Hey guys, welcome back to Brian's Mysteries and Adventures on Trail, and today we will be talking about water filtration systems, just the main ones and ones that I go with, and also talking about coffee options on trail, especially for those with a sweet tooth like me, because that was a big problem. Used to my coffee with sweeteners, and then, yeah. So my top two picks are the Katadyn BeFree Filter, which I will be going over shortly here, as well as the Sawyer Squeeze Regular. And I've used all these water filtration systems, so I can speak intelligently on them and what my experiences were with them. And as we all know, there's really no way to look at a water source and tell whether it's clean or not. Some will argue that higher altitudes you can, and I'm sure that's true in some cases, but I always like to err on the side of caution and filter all of my water. And I always have a main system that I use, and then as well as a backup that I carry just in case. I'll also go over a few things that I use that I help make the water taste a little better, because in some sources they can be really sort of murky and gritty, and the main system that I use is the Katahdin, which when I originally bought it, I loved so many things about it, but I didn't like the little bottle that it comes with, the little 1-liter bottle, and I also didn't like having to take off the filter each time and then screwing it back on, because it did seem that it had to be screwed on exactly right or it would leak. So I was really excited when I found out that Cnoc Vecto had came out with their bag that fit the 42mm Katadyn filter, because I'd always used the Cnoc with my old filter, the Sawyer Squeeze, and now they have a 42mm thread that will fit the Katadyn. And this system to me is perfect, because you put the filter on once and you only have to open up the big wide mouth top to put in your water. It's just a great system. I really love the Cnoc bags too, because they are virtually indestructible. I mean, you can, they claim you can step on them, and I love this wide mouth opening because you can scoop up even from the smallest sources, and then it cinches down with that cincher, and it's just a really wonderful thing. I wouldn't go on a long distance hike without it. And like I said, that paired with the Katadyn filter is my prime choice for water filtration. Now my backup I carry is the Aquamira Drops, and these I'll use when the source is really grimy, and even after filtering it I want to be careful. Some people say they don't like the taste of the Aquamira water afterwards, so there also is the Iodine tablets, but again, I heard that it leaves an aftertaste too. So what I do in that case is I use these little Propel flavor packs, and they're great because they have electrolytes and they give your water some flavor. And I found that using these after I've done my filtration and using the Aquamira Drops in some cases, I can't taste the difference. It just tastes like regular tap water. And there was a few people that I'd met on trail that I made some of these up for, and they just fell in love with them. They couldn't drink water after that. And personally, I love the little bit of that grape flavor, especially when you've been getting your water from sort of some of the murkier sources that you come across in the desert when it's all dried out. And so these are just some suggestions that have worked for me that I thought I'd pass along. There are some other options out there. There's this MSR pump, but it is ridiculous. It is ridiculously expensive, over $300, and very heavy. I've never seen a thru hiker carrying one. They do make a mini version, which I think is only $90, but it's still very heavy, over a pound. And then you have the gravity systems like the Platypus. Now I think these are okay in some situations, like if you're camping with big groups or a family, that would be a great system, using it with the VersaFlow. And then you have the Micro Sawyer Squeeze. Now this little guy took the thru hiking community by storm last year. Everyone thought it was going to be a great lighter weight option, but it was just a disaster for most people. It was the flow rate wasn't great, and it broke down all the time very prematurely. People reported clogs at less than 20 liters and just all kinds of problems, so buyer beware on that one. That brings us to the Sawyer Regular Squeeze, the tried and true. This is a great filtration system. I hear wonderful things about it. I used it a couple times and it worked great, never had any problems with it. The flow rate is great, you can back flush it with a smart water bottle. It's just a great filtration system. And if you prefer, you just can screw it right onto a smart water bottle and drink right from the bottle like that. It's wonderful. And then we have the Sawyer Mini. Now this is kind of like the micro. Reports vary, but the flow rate is nowhere near the regular squeeze, and I hear it's can be a pain at times too to get consistent results from that mini squeeze. So let's bring us along to my choices and why. My first choice is going to be the BeFree Katadyn filter. Like I said, it has the best flow rate. About 1 liter will take you about 8 seconds in the beginning, and then towards the end you'll probably get up to like 15 seconds. And you can buy just the filter. You don't have to buy the whole contraption. The filter's going to run you about $25. And like I said, that paired with the Cnoc 42mm bag is just an awesome setup, because you screw that filter on one time and then you just fill the bag up by the wide mouth, and then when it comes to back flushing, it's one of the easiest filters to back flush. You just shake it around in a stream or any running water, and that's it. It's pretty much it. You can get up to 1,000 liters of water out of it. And my backup choice is the Aquamira Drops. I really do love these because they're very easy to use. You put one part into another part A into part B, let it sit for 5 seconds, put it into your water, let that sit for a few minutes, and you're good to go. And I just store it in my little handy dandy thruhike fanny pack. Always have it, even if I don't have my pack on me. And not to mention, it filters out everything: bacteria, protozoa, giardia, and even viruses. And that's why I like to have that as my backup, because it does do viruses, whereas the other filters, they do not, for the most part. I think the pumps ones do, but you know, the Sawyers and those kind do not filter out viruses. And now let's talk about coffee on trail. If you're like me, I love my coffee, but I like it sweet and creamy, sugar and sweetener, and it's really hard for me to make coffee I like on trail. So there's lots of different options that I found that are prudent to that and that offer a sweet variety. My favorites are going to be the Starbucks. They come in lots of different flavors: vanilla latte, white chocolate mocha, caramel latte. You can even get a sweetened iced coffee one. And they are great. You just take one of those pouches, drop it in some water, and you're good to go. If you like it cold, hot, you know, do it up however you want. Trader Joe's also makes a great one. It's not quite as good as the other ones, but I found sometimes you can mix 2 of the pouches and you can really get a nice sweet coffee. And then there's also some of these pre-made options that are little 2-ounce cups that'll fit in any hip belt pocket. And so I found if I was in town, I'd grab a couple of those and, you know, just stuff them in my pockets. So a couple mornings I would just have a fresh little shot of coffee. And they really are delicious. The only downside is it does make for some more trash you have to pack out. But hey, that's life on the trail, right? But anyway, those are my suggestions for some really sweet, delicious coffee on trail, if you like that kind of coffee. If you don't, I mean, I'm sure you figured out ways to have your normal coffee. Give you guys a few follow-up notes here. We discussed all the water filtration systems and everything else, and I hope that was helpful for everybody. And yeah, I just wanted to also give you guys a couple of quick snack ideas for on trail that'll help keep your body running properly, because not only do you need water, you need the proper amount of salts too. And these are just those little oyster crackers that come with like soups and sandwiches all the time. They weigh nothing. It's a great easy thing to just stick in your pocket, so that while you're out on trail you can help get your salt intake as well, if that's something that you struggle with. And then another hack is these little Nutella breadstick things, and I know a lot of people already eat these, but this is a great little thing you can stick in any hip belt pocket. And yeah, so those are just some tips I wanted to share. And like I said, we've gone over all the water filtration things. A few other things that I wanted to talk about was, you know, this is the standard bag that'll come with any of the Sawyer filters, and it's okay, but it tends to rip and break. So again, if you're going to be using the Sawyer, I would recommend getting a Cnoc bag. And with the regular Sawyer and the micro, you want to get the regular Cnoc bag that it'll fit onto. With the BeFree Katadyn, you want to make sure you get the 42mm thread, or else it's not going to work out. But I'm sure whoever you buy it from, you'll be able to return it. I'll put links in the description as well for all these products. And this is one other thing I picked up. It's an ever new 1.5 liter water pouch. You can get these at Gossamer Gear, Actually, you can get them on Amazon too, I think for a little cheaper. I'll put links in, but it's very, very lightweight, so it's a great way to carry some extra water without having to carry like 5 or 6 water bottles, because, you know, again, those of you that are weight conscious, that all adds up. So anyway, thanks for sticking around for the end of the video, and hope to see you next time. Take care.